This is AI.R. Artists in Residence Broadcasting, coming to you once a week from New York City.
Okay, John Cullum.
Okay, Emily Frankel, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I want the world to know.
Yes, what?
One, John Cullum hates exercise.
Well, I don't hate it, I just don't like to do it.
No, he played tennis. He did wonderful things physically. He can dance beautifully, but he does not like exercise. And I am an exercise nut.
Yes, that's true. You do enough for both of us.
No.
No.
So I want the world to know what John Cullum does for exercise.
You want me to tell?
I want you to reveal the truth.
This is going to be embarrassing. This is
No.
my...
Stand up straight. Sit up straight.
Well, yes.
Okay, now.
Okay. What do I do? You mean today or last week? Or
now, what do you do for exercise?
Well, I do a combination of things that I've learned from other people. Mainly, they're stuff that I've gotten from you, and I've kind of made them my own, which means I've made them a lot less like
you
exercise.
You don't do exercises that I give you.
No.
You do your own exercise.
Well, do you want me to give them specifics?
Start with what you do first thing in the morning.
Well, sometimes when I'm in the right mood, I do a series of leg exercises that will also help my my back and my belly. It's very hard to exercise your gluteus maximus.
Notice he doesn't say abs. Now I would say, tell us about the ab exercises that you do.
I do.
He doesn't call them abs. He calls them knee exercises. Knees. Knees.
Well, I tighten my belly, and then I straighten my neck and pull myself up, and I hold that for a long time. And that you do those. You do 10 of those, and you at least I've done.
Are they breathing exercises too?
Yeah, well, that comes later. Then I do exercises with my legs that I try to stretch the hamstrings. This is all still in the bed.
Stretching the hamstrings is like teeny.
Well, no, they hurt me, and I'm not a dancer.
Yes, you are.
Well, anyway, then those.
John has got a dancer spirit.
So
he hates exercise. Go ahead. So you do
I do those. I do the abs and I do the legs, the hip. What do you call it?
Hip flexors.
And also the long the thing that goes down the back of the leg. That gets torn sometimes.
Well, don't talk about that.
Okay.
Just go on with your exercise.
Okay. Then later on during the day, sometime I will go into the studio, and I do a series of.
We have a big studio.
Yeah.
That's my dance studio. It's also a theater.
Yeah.
And it's got bars in it, and it's got mirrors in it, but you can also cover the mirrors, so you can go in there and do wonderful exercises and not have to see them, or you can see everything that you do.
Well, then I stand in front of Emily's little bar.
But he puts on the TV and watches sports while he's doing this.
Okay, all right. But is that cheating?
No.
Okay. Well, I do flexes on my side, go on my tiptoes, rock on my heels. I do the series of those 10 times, and then I do 10 just lift my knees up to my chest. It's like walking in place, but exaggerated.
That's good. I like that.
I do 10 of those, and then I do 10 extensions out to the left and out to the right, which kind of opens up the hips a little bit.
He means he stands up and he goes sideways.
That's right.
I can't show it, but you can guess.
And then I do a breathing exercise. This that I made up myself because I don't get enough. I don't get enough exercise for my diaphragm. So I do like I go. I take a deep breath, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm blowing out.
Now I have to admit that you have wonderful breath control. I will say that you do well.
Well, thank you, darling. That's very nice of you to say that. Coming from a dancer, that's great praise.
Now,
Thank
John
you.
also ends his exercise with something that's very important.
What's
that's
that?
simple balance.
Oh, that's the toughest thing for me nowadays. And that I'd stand on one leg and put the other leg behind my
It's like
calf.
a passe position.
Yeah, and then I try to stand without any support, but I usually have to hold on to something just to feel which direction I'm falling over in. And I do those for a slow 10 count. I do 3 sets of them.
Are you in good shape?
I would say I am. Yes, I'm in good shape.
I think you're in very good shape. I just wanted you to tell the world what you do.
Okay. Did we bore you enough? Exercises are boring enough when you have to do them.
Okay.
But for me to talk about them, to keep you entertained by them, I don't know. That's pretty bad.
Well, this is John Cullum and Emily, and we are now.
You should see what Emily does every day. She takes a bar at the bar, and then she does a dance that's very complicated.
We'll talk about that later.
Wonderful music, and she sometimes lets me watch, but not always.
No.
Anyway, it was nice talking to you. We'll see you next week, okay?
This is AI.R. See you next week.